Hi, I'm Monica, and if you're a yoga teacher who has ever felt unsure, maybe even panicked when a student shows up and says, I have a shoulder injury, I have a herniated disc, I have chronic pain, can I still do this class? Listen, you are not alone. Most yoga teachers were trained in alignment, breath, and cueing, but very few were given the tools to understand how to support students in pain or those recovering from injuries. Today, I want to introduce you to a framework that I created, one that blends anatomy, pain science, the nervous system, sequencing, and recovery strategies so you can teach real students in real bodies with skill, clarity, and confidence. This isn't about turning you into a physical therapist or memorizing 600 muscles. It's about understanding how to teach smarter, safer, and more inclusively without getting overwhelmed. Let's start with the truth. Yoga teachers are on the front lines of people's pain, but we weren't trained for it. Someone walks into your class with low back pain or tells you they just had rotator cuff surgery or that they're managing fibromyalgia, and suddenly the 200-hour you did a few years ago, it doesn't feel like enough anymore. Here's what I see happening. Teachers freeze, or they just say, skip that pose, or they fall back on rigid, outdated alignment rules that don't account for individual differences, or they panic and overcompensate by trying to sound clinical or overly cautious. Does this sound like you? We can't ignore these students because more and more of them are showing up to our classes. The student in chronic pain, the person coming back to yoga after surgery, the older student with a fused spine or joint replacement, and the teacher dealing with their own pain and trying to figure it out while leading others. What's missing isn't just more anatomy. What's missing is an integrated way to understand the whole person, their body, their pain, their nervous system, and how to adapt yoga in a way that's truly supportive. That's what my framework offers. So let me introduce you to my Teaching Students with Injuries framework. It's made of 5 core pillars that work together like puzzle pieces. The first is applied anatomy, not memorized anatomy. This isn't about labeling every muscle. It's about understanding how the body moves functionally in yoga, what range of motion is required in common poses, how joint structure and variation change what alignment looks like, and how to see bodies clearly and offer cues that support real people, not just textbook shapes. You'll learn how to break down poses like half pigeon, warrior one, or forward folds with an anatomical lens so you can see why a student might struggle and what to offer instead. The next pillar is understanding pain science. This is one of the most transformative parts of the framework. You'll learn that pain does not always equal damage. You'll learn how the nervous system can create or amplify pain even when the tissues are healed, and the difference between acute injuries, chronic pain, and structural issues. You'll also learn how to talk about pain with confidence without diagnosing students. This changes everything because it means we stop fearing pain and we start teaching in a way that empowers students to listen, move, adapt, and to trust you. The third pillar is understanding common yoga injuries. You'll learn all about the most common yoga injuries you'll see in students, and we'll look at how to actually talk to students about injuries, pain, or their limitations. You'll learn what questions to ask before class when someone shares that they're injured. You'll learn what to say in the moment if a student feels discomfort, how to build boundaries around your scope without shutting down connection, and how to build long term trust with students who are healing. You'll also understand the biopsychosocial side of pain, how fear, frustration, or shame impact healing, and how your teaching can either reinforce those feelings or help release them. The fourth pillar is nervous system integration. The body doesn't heal through movement alone, it heals through nervous system regulation. In this pillar, we explore how the autonomic nervous system affects pain, mobility, and stability. We'll learn the role of breath work, pacing, and down regulation in recovery. How trauma, anxiety, or chronic stress can impact someone's experience of yoga and what it really means to create a safe space in class. This is where we blend somatics, choice, and compassion because safety isn't just in the alignment, it's in the way we teach, the tone of our voice, the space we hold, the options we offer. The fifth pillar is intelligent sequencing and adaptation. Finally, in this pillar, it's all about teaching smarter and not harder. You'll learn how to build class sequences that balance strength, mobility, and recovery. Choose poses based on movement intention, not just traditional poses. Offer clear, meaningful variations for common injuries. Spot red flag transitions and replace them with safer ones. And use sequencing to support regulation, not just challenge the body. Instead of plugging pigeon pose into every class, you'll understand when it serves the student and when it might harm them. This framework works because it's integrated. You're not learning anatomy in isolation or memorizing jargon. It's practical. It's built for real yoga teachers in real classes. It's compassionate. It doesn't just focus on the body, but on the human experience of pain, and it's empowering. You'll leave feeling more confident, not more confused. This isn't just a system, it's a paradigm shift. You'll move from fear to skill, from guessing to knowing, from I hope I said the right thing to I know how to support this student today. If this resonates, and if you're ready to teach with clarity and confidence, especially when a student with injuries shows up, schedule a strategy call with me today and let's get you from feeling overwhelmed and frazzled to feeling confident and ready to work with students with injuries. This is how we shift the yoga world from fear based cueing to skill based, heart led teaching.